Looking for the right X870 motherboard and not sure which one is actually worth your money? In this ranking, I'm going from the weakest option in the group to the strongest, so by the end you'll know exactly which board makes the most sense for your build. In 5th place, we have the Prime board, and I'll say it right away, this is not a bad motherboard at all. It simply lands at the bottom because the others in this list give you a better overall balance. For someone who wants an X870 board without going too far into premium pricing, this one makes sense, but you can feel where ASUS trimmed things down. On the good side, you still get the big modern features people actually care about. You've got USB 4, Wi-Fi 7, PCIe 5 for the main graphics slot, and support for 4 M.2 drives. In my experience, that already covers what most builders need for a clean, fast gaming or work setup. The power design is also solid enough that pairing it with a stronger Ryzen chip does not feel out of place. But here's the catch. Compared with the stronger boards in this ranking, this one is clearly less flexible. You only get 2 SATA ports, one of the 2 M slots is slower, and the lane sharing makes expansion a bit less comfortable. On paper that may not sound dramatic, but in a real build, it matters when you start adding storage and cards and suddenly you realize not every slot behaves the way you hoped. So who is this for? If you want a simple X870 entry point and care more about the platform than premium extras, this can still work well. And by the way, links to all the motherboards from this review at the best price are in the description under the video. But if you want a board that feels a bit more complete right away, the next one is more interesting. In 4th place, we've got the Tough model, and this one already feels more serious. It sits above the Prime because it gives you a stronger overall board for demanding CPUs, and it has a more confident feature set for people who want a gaming build that feels sturdy and well thought out. What I like here is the balance. You get a stronger power section, 2 PCIe 5 M.2 slots, good rear connectivity, and even front USB-C with more charging power. That makes it feel more modern in day-to-day use. This is the kind of board where you build the PC once, and it already feels like you won't need to think about upgrades for quite a while. Compared with the Prime, it's simply more capable and better equipped. But again, there are a few things you need to know. You still only get 2 SATA ports, which is a little disappointing, and the lane sharing is more noticeable than I would like, because one M.2 slot can reduce bandwidth for the main graphics slot, and another can disable a chipset slot. That's not a disaster, but it's the kind of detail that makes this board feel a bit less clean than the best ones here. So if you want a solid, no-nonsense board with good features and a tougher overall feel, this one is easy to like. But if you care more about storage flexibility or cleaner expansion, keep watching, because the next board handles that part better. And if this ranking is helping you out, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. In 3rd place, I've got the AORUS Elite Ice. And this is where things start to get more competitive. What makes this board stand out is that it feels more practical than flashy. It's not trying to win on luxury features alone. Instead, it gives you a strong everyday setup that, for many people, will actually be easier to live with. The biggest advantage here is the storage side. You still get 4 M.2 slots, but now you also get 4 SATA ports, and that matters more than some people think. If you already have older SSDs or hard drives, you may want a mix of fast system storage and cheaper mass storage. This board gives you more breathing room than the 2 ASUS models below it. Add in Wi-Fi 7, USB 4, and a solid power design, and it starts to feel like a very sensible build choice. Why is it not higher then? Because it gives some of that practicality back in other places. You only get 1 PCIe 5 M.2 slot, 1 M.2 slot is limited to PCIe 4x2, and the secondary expansion slot layout is not that impressive. So while it feels practical for storage-heavy users, it doesn't feel as refined or as premium as the top 2 boards in this ranking. For builders who want a clean whiteboard and better legacy storage flexibility, this is a really appealing option. I can absolutely see this fitting well in a creator build or a gaming PC with lots of drives. But if you want stronger networking or a more premium overall package, the next board steps up nicely. In 2nd place, we have the Tomahawk. And honestly, this is the board that will probably make the most people happy. It may not be the most glamorous one in the list, but it's one of those products where the overall mix just makes sense the moment you look at it. What stands out right away is the value in the feature set. You get 5 Gigabit Ethernet, which already gives it an edge over the other boards here, plus Wi-Fi 7, USB 4, 4 M.2 slots, and 4 SATA ports. And then there's the fact that it has 2 PCIe 5 M.2 slots, which is strong at this level. In my experience, boards like this are easy to recommend because they don't force you into one specific type of build. Gaming, content work, fast networking, lots of storage, it covers a lot without getting awkward. The reason it stops just short of 1st place is that it still has some lane sharing compromises, and one of the M.2 slots drops down to PCIe 4x2, so it's not perfect. And compared with the top board, it doesn't quite feel as premium in raw motherboard class. But the smart thing about it is that most people will notice the practical strengths much more than those small weaknesses. If you want the safest all-around pick in this ranking, this one is probably it. It's the board I'd point to for someone who wants strong features without paying mainly for brand image or looks. But if you want the most premium option in this list, the final board still has the edge. And in first place, we've got the Strix board. This is the one that feels the most premium overall. It's not first because it crushes every other model in every single category, but because the total package feels the most polished and the most high-end. You get a very strong power design, 2 PCIe 5 M2 slots, strong onboard audio, good expansion, and the kind of feature mix that makes a high-end Ryzen build feel complete. Compared with the Tomahawk, it does give up the 5 Gigabit Ethernet and the extra SATA flexibility, but it makes up for that with a more premium overall class and stronger board level hardware. And yes, the white design is a nice bonus for anyone building around a clean, bright setup. The weak point is value. That's really the main thing. You only get 2 SATA ports, and for a lot of users, the day-to-day benefit over the MSI board will not be huge enough to justify paying more. So this is one of those cases where the top-ranked product is not automatically the best buy for every person. It's the strongest board here overall, but not always the smartest purchase for every budget. If you want the most premium X870 motherboard from this group, this is the one I'd place at the top. It makes the most sense for builders who care about strong board quality, cleaner premium features, and a higher end feel from the start. So check the top brands again using the links in the description under the video, especially if you're choosing between the Tomahawk and the Strix, because that's where the decision gets really interesting. And if this review helped you narrow it down, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.